Hi, Touch of Pink Fist here. Today's video is about the best and most efficient way of feeding our pals. As we know, our pals need to eat. Why, you ask? Well, if they don't get food, they become unhappy, and unhappy pals mean inefficient workers. Obviously, we don't want this to happen, so we need to feed them. So, how do we go about doing this? When adventuring and exploring, we can feed our pals and ourselves with berries, either raw or cooked. They are readily available in the wild and an easy method when on the go. If you wish to cook them, then you can build yourself a campfire and cook them from where you are. To make it more efficient, you will eventually unlock the feed bag with the advanced technology points earned by defeating bosses. Feed bags are used to automatically feed ourselves and our pals when they are hungry. Without a feed bag, you must stop and manually go into your inventory to feed yourself and your team of pals. So these bags are very convenient to have whilst out in the wilds. So what about our hard-working pals at our base? Very early on in the game, you can still feed them independently. If you can get close to a hungry pal, press number 4 on the keyboard and pick the feed option. You can then feed them from your inventory. Though this only seems to work when they are idle and not when they are working or sleeping, unfortunately. Obviously, when your base expands, so does the number of pals you keep, so feeding by hand can become difficult and time-consuming. Thus, constructing a feed box is a priority, as our pals will gather food and eat it automatically from here. This structure is unlocked when your base reaches level 4, and it costs just 2 technology points to build. After you build the feed box, there are 2 ways it can be used. The first way is manually. You can add food from your inventory into the food box by right-clicking or shift and left-click, allowing you to split half the food item. The second way is by letting our pals do all the lifting. Some pals will automatically carry food produced by other structures directly to their feed box. For example, if you build a berry plantation, which I do highly recommend early on, you'll start growing berries. These berries, after being harvested, will be carried to the feed box by the pals who have the transporting skill. To ensure that you have at least 1 pal with this skill, like those cute little tansies. At level 17, you will eventually unlock the cooking pot. Here you will be able to cook many more nutritious dishes for your pals. It is slightly more time consuming, but if your pals eat a food with a better nutrition rating, then they will stay full for longer, thus less likely to keep going off for their lunch break. It is worth knowing that our little pals eat from left to right in the food box, so make sure the most nutritious foods are on the left. Each food has a nutrition value, a sanity value, and occasionally an extra bonus or buff. So, what does it mean to us? Well, the higher the nutritional value, the longer our pals will stay full and satisfied, and less likely to starve as quickly. Whilst the sanity value, or SAN, is the rate the food increases the sanity value of our pals, reducing the depression rate. Finally, some food types give extra bonuses and buffs when cooked. I will explain this through 7 types of food that I feel are some of the best early on in the game. Also, remember that food does deteriorate over time, so I do recommend a cooler as soon as you can, so there is no waste. Fried eggs. Fried eggs are easy to have on hand and quick to cook in bulk. You can feed raw, but they have less nutritional value this way. An egg has a nutritional value of 16, whilst a fried egg has 23. A fried egg will also increase a pal's sanity by 1. It is well worth getting a ranch and keeping a chickpea, as these will drop eggs regularly in the ranch for you. Fried eggs also have a lengthy shell life, especially left in a cooler. Bread. Very simple and fast to cook. All you need is flour. Flour is made from growing wheat in the wheat plantation, which you can get at level 15 from the technology tree, and then grinding it in a mill. The nutritional value of bread is 27, and it can increase your pal's sanity by 4. You have them gem-filled buns, which are one of the easiest and most filling in the early game. They only need flour and berries, which are easy to come by once you have both plantations and the mill. They have a nutritional value of 51 and will increase your pal sanity by 6. Pancakes, which may seem less important than the jam-filled buns as they have slightly less nutritional value than the buns, however, do help decrease the rate at which sanity decreases for a period of time. This can help if you have a pal that is currently having a bit of a mental health issue and needs some extra time to recover. Pancakes do need flour and milk, thus the Muzani are well worth capturing as they drop milk if you have the ranch. For meat alternative, there is the lamb ball kebab. They have a nutrition value of 52 and increases the rate of sanity by 1. They are very filling for only using one lamb ball mutton. Lamb balls are very easy to find as they usually are plentiful around your base. If you can harvest a regular amount of mushrooms in the wild, then mushroom soup is a favourite. It has a nutritional value of 52 and increases sanity by 7, but also has an extra bonus in prolonging fullness. So this is a good food source if surrounded by mushrooms. We then have the roast Rochor, which has a high nutrition score of 60 and increases sanity by 1. But it is very easy to cook early on as it only needs 1 Rochor pork. Finally, last on my list is the herb roasted lamb ball, which requires only 1 lamb ball, mutton and 2 red berries. These ingredients are easy to acquire and has a high nutritional score of 94 and increases sanity by 12. It also has an extra buff by giving a 10% defense. Very useful if going hunting as you can feed your pals with it to help increase their defense whilst you are on the hunt. There are many other foods that are available, but these foods I have mentioned contain ingredients that are easy to obtain early game and keep our pals full and happier for longer. Happier pals mean happier players. I hope these tips have painted a clearer picture regarding feeding our pals and help you in Palworld. If you like this video, please click that like and subscribe button so you keep up to date with my videos. See you next time in Palworld.